What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it is finally time, almost 3 months into the year, or I guess technically 2 months into the year, it is finally time for my Game of the Year 2025. Who says it's too late for a Game of the Year video 2 months into 2026? I don't really care at this point. I just want to get this video out, finally put 2025 in the past, and get to 2026. But we have one more step, one final step before we start talking about 2026 games, and that is making my Game of the Year list for 2025. So the way I'm doing this is all of the games that I have reviews for up on the channel will be on this list. I'm going to talk about every game I have a review up for on the channel. That is 17 games. My list is going to be a top 10. I will have 7 games that obviously won't make the top 10. Those are going to be honorable mentions somewhat, but just because I just want to talk about all the games that I played, I will be ranking them in order, so I guess it's the top 17, but I'm really more focusing on the top 10 games, but we will be talking about all 17 games that I have made reviews for on the channel. Every game I will talk about today has its own separate video on the channel. A lot of games to talk about. This is probably a long one, so sit back, grab something to eat and drink, and let's talk about my Game of the Year for 2025. Let's dive in. So the first game we're going to talk about, to the surprise of no one, technically coming in last place out of the 17 games, it is Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Not a surprise at all. Went into this one with very low expectations and came out, and I think I was very it's not a good game. I mean, I talked about it in the review. The only bad thing I've played this year, this is not an entirely bad game. I tried to go into it with an objective lens. I wanted to try and not have all of the talk around Black Ops 7 affect me. I wanted to give this game a chance. The campaign is really bad. It is the only bad experience I've had in a game this year. The campaign is not good. The story is bad. Characters are terrible. The writing is terrible. The gameplay, they have Warzone-ified the campaign. It's a co-op campaign, a campaign I didn't play in co-op, but if you're playing solo and cutscenes, it looks like you'll have AI teammates, but then you're by yourself. The missions are all over the place. Some of them take place in the open world of Avalon, while some are linear. There's just crazy things going on in this campaign, but not crazy good like Black Ops 6. Really crazy bad. I mean, this campaign is really, really bad. There's nothing redeeming about it at all. The only thing redeeming about it is if you want to play with friends and make fun of it. That's the only thing that I'd say you can get some enjoyment out of, but I wouldn't recommend it. The multiplayer is fine. It's just kind of the same as we have seen in the past couple of CODs. Is it a bad multiplayer? No, but it's not doing anything special. I didn't really have the best time with it. And then Zombies is actually not bad. It's actually pretty solid. It's pretty much an improvement on Black Ops 6 Zombies, which I did enjoy somewhat, and they've improved on it. They've added new things, and they're going to keep adding content to both multiplayer and Zombies. You also have In-Game, which is actually a pretty solid mode. It's this PvE kind of tied to the campaign, but not really mode that you can play in co-op. Yeah, you can get some enjoyment out of it. Dead Ops Arcades is here as well, and apparently that's pretty good. I didn't put a whole lot of time into that while I played this game. I'd say overall I put somewhere between 15 to 20 hours. I tried to kind of divide my time up with each game, finish the campaign out, play a little bit of end-game, some multiplayer, some zombies. But overall, as an entire package, it's not a good game. Campaign's really bad. I would not recommend it, and it's obviously, to the surprise of no one, at the bottom of the list. And yeah, nothing much more to say about Black Ops 7. Here's where it sits. Next up is Sword of the Sea, and it kind of hurts me to put this game right here because this is not a bad game. It is a good game, but 2025 just had so many great games, and Sword of the Sea for me, very short experience, and it just wasn't very memorable, I guess. There was a couple of cool moments I can think of, but overall, out of all of these, visual storytelling games where it takes you on a journey. There's no voice acting. All of the game is told through the visuals and the gameplay, which the gameplay's solid. You're riding around on this, I think they call it, it's like some sort of sword hoverboard or sword surfboard. I'm not sure. It looks pretty cool. The game looks great. I mean, the game looks stunning for sure. A lot of cool visual moments, but just compared to other games that are kind of in this genre or in this style, just didn't do it for me a whole lot. You know, some cool puzzles, you get to explore some cool regions, but overall this is one that I played through and have forgotten about since playing it. It hasn't really stuck with me, and like I said, it sucks to put it here because it's not a bad game. It's a good game, but it's a short experience, you know, 3-4 hours along that. I remember it had a pretty cool finale, some cool moments in that finale, but overall, just out of the entire list that we're going to be talking about, this is one that I enjoyed my time with it, but just not one that I have remembered a whole lot since playing it. I have not carried really anything from it since rolling credits on it. So Sword of the Sea is a solid game, and I love games in this style and in this genre, but this is one that's probably towards the bottom. Again, not because it's a bad game, just because there's so many other great games in this genre. Next up is Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Haven't seen pretty much anyone talk about this game at all, and I enjoyed it. I did have a good time with it. It's a Vampire Survivors-like game. A lot of these games have started to appear since Vampire Survivors really popped off a couple years ago, and I loved that game, and I saw that they were putting a full release on a Deep Rock version of that, and I really enjoyed Deep Rock Galactic from what I played of that, so I thought I'd give this a shot. It was coming to Game Pass, and I put a decent amount of time into it, experimented with a lot of the different weapons and classes, and there's a lot of content here. If you get into this game, there's a lot of stuff here for you. Hundreds of achievements, different ways to play, different modes, tons of different weapons. The gameplay feels really good, looks pretty good as well. Overall, it's a solid to good game. You're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's a great podcast or music game. Throw it on. It doesn't require a whole lot of brain power because pretty much all you're doing is just moving the left stick. You move and the game does the rest. So if you're into that kind of game, this is one that's going to have a lot of content for you. And if you've played Deep Rock, again, another reason to jump into this game. I enjoyed it, put a decent amount of time into it, haven't really gone back since, but overall, this is a good experience. I did enjoy what I played of it, had a lot of fun with the gameplay, and just really easy to turn your brain off and have a lot of fun with Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. South of Midnight. This is the game in this part of the list that I've had the most trouble placing, because at one point I had this game where Sword of the Sea is, right after Black Ops 7. But over time, I've actually kind of warmed up to this game just going back and thinking about the experience. When I played it, wasn't a big fan of the story. There was some cool story moments with the stories embedded within the chapters, the kind of side stories. The overall main story wasn't a huge fan of. Combat was not great. Didn't have a lot of fun with the combat at all. Was really dragging the further you got into the game. But when I look back at it, I think, man, this game looks great. It's got a great sense of style, the kind of stop motion animation, the way that it represents and depicts the Deep South, Louisiana, and the soundtrack is fantastic. I mean, I look back at South of Midnight and I don't think of the bad. I don't think of the okay. I think of what this game did really, really good. And that is the soundtrack. That is the visuals and the art style, and the, I liked the exploration a lot too. So this one was very, very tricky for me to try to place. I placed it here because I'm thinking back on it more fondly than I am the bad. The combat wasn't great, didn't really vibe with the story a lot, but I said in my review that I would not mind a sequel to this game if they completely stripped the combat and just focused on exploring. That's kind of what I would like to see. Put us back in this setting, give us more of that great soundtrack, that goes along with the storytelling, that is telling the story. Have the soundtrack tell the story. That does a great job of that, and just improve on everything that you did so well. This game had a lot of potential to be really, really great. There's a lot of good here, but there's also a good bit of bad. So I look back on it more fondly now that I'm thinking about it, as opposed to months ago when this game came out, where I was very, very 50-50 and mixed on South of Midnight. But that is kind of why it is right here on the list, thinking more of the positives when I think back on South of Midnight as opposed to the negatives. Next up is Dead Zone Rogue. I had a lot of fun with Dead Zone Rogue. This game has really great gameplay, very, very tight and smooth gameplay. First person roguelite. You're playing on a spaceship, going through the different parts of it, and there's a lot of different weapons, lots of cool weapons and abilities and different mods that you can find for each weapon. The game looks great, it runs great as well. It just has a great gameplay. That's what carries this game a lot. It's got good soundtrack too, a good cyberpunk style soundtrack to fit with the vibe of the game. Lots of different mission variety as well. You have like holdout missions, or there's the main story mission, which the main story is actually not too bad. It was a lot better than I thought. There's a choice near the end of it that I didn't expect to have to make. But aside from the main story, you have side kind of missions that give you different modifiers or ways to play, like you're stuck with shotguns only, snipers only, and it makes the gameplay a lot of fun. And there's difficulties to mess around with, skill trees, a lot of progression here. They've updated the game since I've played it with new zones. They added zone 4, 3 were at launch. They keep adding new content, and this is one that if you're looking for a solid roguelike to play, it's got really great gameplay, visuals, and they're just going to keep adding content to it. Fun weapons as well, with even the like special weapons that you can find by doing missions. I had a lot of fun with Dead Zone Rogue. It's also playable in co-op. Had a lot of fun playing this in co-op as well. So Dead Zone Rogue, definitely one that I feel like has gone under the radar. Saw this one right when it came out and thought, I'll give it a shot. It's got a lot of good reviews, and definitely if this looks like it's up your alley, I would check it out, because Dead Zone Rogue is a lot of fun. Now we'll talk about Keeper from Double Fine. Had a lot of fun with this game. Short experience, another game kind of in the same realm of Sword of the Sea, which we just talked about a few minutes ago, where it's no voice acting and the game is all based on the visual storytelling. A lot of great visual storytelling and just visual moments. This game, visually stunning. A lot of crazy art styles and visuals, different colors being introduced, and some fun gameplay moments. It really tries to switch it up. It's a short experience. I think it took me 4 or 5 hours to finish, but a lot of great gameplay sections, great puzzles, and I did not think that I was going to enjoy a game where you play as a lighthouse this much. You play as a lighthouse and you just go on this journey, and especially like that last act was a lot of fun, not only from a gameplay perspective but from a visual perspective as well. Really enjoyed Keeper. Thought this one was, again, another game that went under the radar. I can see why you might not like this game a whole lot if this isn't your style, but it's Double Fine being weird. They're so good at doing weird things, and I hope they keep doing that, because we get games like this where Keeper is just a really short, chill, easy game to get through that gives you a lot of great visual moments. The art style is great, visuals are great, some good gameplay moments, and overall a short but sweet experience that I really enjoyed. Keeper from Double Fine, definitely check it out. I had such a difficult time figuring out what was the honorable mention. I was down to 2 games, and I decided that if I had to pick with this list between fun or story, I was going to pick fun. So that means number 11, right outside the top 10, is Mafia: The Old Country. This game's story is one of the best stories I've experienced in 2025. I loved this game's story. The characters and the writing I thought were great. Some just great like Italian mob moments. It had a great mafia story, characters I really cared about, some great twists and turns that you didn't expect, and an ending that really, really shocked me and surprised me. I didn't think this was going to end the way it did, and I really enjoyed this mafia story. It hurts me so bad to not have this inside the top 10 because I really love this story a lot. It was a big high point in the year, but then you look at the rest of the game and it's just fine. It's got okay gameplay and gunplay. The driving feels fine. You know, you have this world to kind of explore. I mean, you're able to, explore this world of Italy, but there's not a lot to do in it. It's like they wanted to make an open world game, but they decided last minute not to. They've added a free ride mode in since launch that I tried to go back and play, but I just wasn't really feeling it. There's races and horse races, so they've added some stuff since that maybe should have been in the game at launch, but it's fine. And the graphics, it kind of teeters between this game looks great and this game doesn't look great. Performance was kind of very wonky up and down. The story really, really carried this game for me. I loved the different moments. So many good moments in this story. That's what really carried this game, and that's what I came to the game for. So that's why I did enjoy it. I came to the game for a short experience. I was going to give me a really good story. Didn't really care if the gameplay wasn't going to be that great, and that's what I got. I got what I expected. I got what I asked for. So that's why it's right outside the top 10. Really love the story. Everything else about the game is just fine, but man, that story, that really, really hit for me. Mafia: The Old Country, right outside the top 10 because it's got a great story. But if it had everything else going for it, even if it just had, good gameplay. I know I say that, and I just said that, all I wanted was a great story. That's what I got. But with this list, as you'll see, I'm going with fun over story. I'd rather go back and play a game because it's fun than go back and play it for the story that I've already experienced. So that's kind of how I'm approaching this list. So Mafia: The Old Country, right outside at number 11. And now we start the top 10 off with Doom: The Dark Ages, the third game in the new modern Doom trilogy from id Software. Had a lot of fun with this game. This list is fun over story. I'd rather go back and play Doom than go back and play Mafia. Even though I love the Mafia story, I had a lot of fun with Doom. Out of the three new Doom games, Doom 2016, Eternal, Dark Ages, this one definitely the least favorite, but it's still a good, actually to great game. Somewhere in that realm. Has a lot of cool new introductions to gameplay. I think that the way that they approached it, I liked. They didn't play it safe and just did more Eternal. They tried to do something different. This game is stand and fight. Doom Eternal, super, super fast paced. This game slows it down a little bit. Gives you a shield. You can parry, which I thought was a really cool mechanic. It felt great in this game. I know a lot of games nowadays have a parry mechanic and they just kind of feel shoehorned in. But Doom: The Dark Ages, I felt like had a really good parry mechanic. Had a lot of fun with that. The weapons I thought were really cool. It fit that medieval vibe. Art style and visuals were definitely on point with this game. Story, I mean, it's a Doom game. It's not a good story. If you're coming to Doom for a great story, then you're kind of in the wrong place at this point. I feel like we don't really usually get a good story with Doom games. if it had one, that'd be fantastic. I feel like it'd definitely be higher up on the list. But the gameplay is just so much fun. Open-ended levels with, good exploration and things to go and find, secrets, collectibles, all the fun stuff, and just great combat encounters. I really enjoyed it, and then going back to it to try to figure out, am I going to put Doom or Mafia in the top 10? The Ripatorium that they added, I think is what it's called, after launch, just doing that, being able to customize in different encounters and just play the game, have fun with the gameplay, and really mess with a lot of modifiers and settings. You can do that in the main game as well. I had a lot of fun with Doom the Dark Ages, and I look back on it and just think, this game was a lot of fun. And the soundtrack, even though Mick Gordon isn't the composer, is it as good as those soundtracks that he did? No, but it's still a great soundtrack. It still has a lot of great moments in the soundtrack. It still hits, not the same, but it's still a great Doom soundtrack. Overall, a lot of fun with the gameplay in Doom the Dark Ages. Story, it's there. It's not good, but I'm coming to Doom for great gameplay. I got a Doom game set in medieval times with really cool weapons, shields, a melee weapon system that is also really fun to mess with. Not really sure how I feel about them taking out glory kills, but it was definitely a very risky move that they made. It wasn't a safe sequel, that's for sure. They did a lot of different things with Doom the Dark Ages, and for me, most of it paid off, some didn't, but overall had a lot of fun with Doom the Dark Ages, and that is why it is number 10. Number 9, The Outer Worlds 2. Obsidian released 3 games in 2025. Avowed I checked out, didn't finish, didn't really get back to it. Grounded 2 did not check out. But The Outer Worlds 2 is one that I did finish. Tried to go back and finish The Outer Worlds 1 before 2 came out. You saw that on the channel. Started in the beginning of the year, dropped off of it, tried to get back to it before 2 came out. Just didn't get into it, didn't finish The Outer Worlds 1, but for some reason, The Outer Worlds 2, it hooked me in. I think the gameplay was really what stood out, and it's not even that it was like amazing gameplay. For some reason, it just felt so much better to play in The Outer Worlds 2 than it did the first game. But that's not all that The Outer Worlds 2 has going for it. It has just great RPG mechanics. I mean, they've taken a lot from old Fallout games. They worked on Fallout New Vegas. You can tell they took a lot from that. And the perk system, the way that you level up and progress, the skills, and solid companions that I think could be better, but solid enough companions. A good story. The gameplay was really fun. Tons of unique weapons to mess around with. I mean, I had one playthrough and I didn't even find a single science weapon. I'm pretty sure in my one playthrough I did not find a single science weapon. And obviously there's a lot of choice and consequence. Great factions. The art direction is really good as well. Tons of unique planets that just, they went with quality over quantity. There's not a lot of planets, not a lot of locations, but they've poured a lot of time and effort into these planets to make them feel fleshed out and unique. And a lot of great locations that you go to, a lot of great moments, not even with the main story, but also with the side quests and the characters that you meet. There's a lot going for The Outer Worlds 2 that I really enjoyed. Didn't expect to like it as much just because the first game I didn't really get into, not because it was a bad game, just didn't grab me, but 2 did, and I had a lot of fun with it. You could easily go through and play this game 2-3 times, change up the way that you play, the build that you use, the choices that you make to see how story changes. There were a couple of main story decisions I made that I would be very interested to see if decisions went differently, things went differently, how would that change the story? There's a lot to go and look for in The Outer Worlds 2. I had a lot of fun with it, and it makes me wonder, Avowed didn't really live up to the hype for a lot of people. If things were a little bit different, maybe some people that worked on The Outer Worlds 2 worked on Avowed. I wonder how they were able to put out these 3 games in 1 year. There's a lot of questions, but all I can say is that I really enjoyed The Outer Worlds 2. I had a lot of fun with it, and that is why it comes in at number 9. Dying Light the Beast takes the number 8 spot. Big surprise for me. Was excited for Dying Light the Beast and to be able to go back to this franchise. Finish Dying Light 1, finish Dying Light 2. Really enjoyed the first game. 2, I was very 50-50 on. I loved the gameplay and the world. I did not like the story. And obviously these games get supported very, very well after the fact. So even when the game launches, you're going to get a whole nother game's worth of content, more than likely, throughout the years that the game gets supported. But when Dying Light Beast was announced and Kyle Crane was coming back as the main character, that was one thing I did not like. I was not a big fan of Aiden being the main character in the second game, so Kyle coming back, that was a big one. And just the approach that it seemed like they were taking, and after playing the game, I really enjoyed it. It feels like a return to form in a lot of ways to Dying Light 1. The gameplay is fantastic. Combat feels great. Parkour feels great. Love the world. Being able to explore Castor Woods and also go to the town and the different parts of the map. A surprisingly good story with surprisingly solid characters. Great side quests. I mean, I was very surprised. I was expecting to get a solid, at best, a solid story, but I got a surprisingly good story with characters that I enjoyed being around and, hearing the dialogue from, even some callbacks to the other games, 1 and 2, and, the vehicle being brought into it, and it kind of opening up the map. Co-op, again, being a big part of the game, which I did not experience, I have not yet, but overall, Dying Light the Beast had a lot of fun with it. They keep supporting the game, and currently am doing a replay of Dying Light 1, and I could just tell from playing the Beast, going back to Dying Light 1, they took a lot of inspiration. They went back and looked at Dying Light 1 and said, what are the good things about this game? They made night scary again, and there's some problems and issues with that, but overall, night is back to being terrifying, having great, tense, volatile chases, being able to sneak into stores, trying to keep a low profile so you don't attract a whole bunch of zombies at you, being able to find a bunch of different weapons and upgrade them, put mods on them. A lot of fun in Dying Light the Beast. It is a great time. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait to go back to Dying Light the Beast, maybe after I do an entire franchise replay through and just see what they've added. I would say that it's also nice. This is it's a lot shorter and more contained of an experience. It did not take long to hit max level, do pretty much most of the side quests and the safe zones, finish the main story. Did not take a lot of time at all. They've added some things after the fact, the New Game Plus, to be able to go through and try and just have more to do. Overall, Dying Light the Beast, had a lot of fun with it. Big surprise for me this year. I expected to enjoy it, but I really did like it. I thought this was a great game, and that is why it is number 8. Number 7 might be a surprise, but I'm going Battlefield 6 at number 7. This, now, at this time of recording this video, might not be the best opinion to have because Battlefield 6 in a rough spot. They are doing a really bad job of post-launch support and keeping the live service alive. But if I'm being honest with myself, Battlefield 6 at launch, one of the best launch Battlefield experiences that we've had compared to 2042 and 5 and 4. It was a relatively smooth launch and it was so much fun, and I still, to this day, even with all the bad post-launch support, think this game is so much fun to play. It is a blast to play. Every time I hop back on there, I'm always having fun, even though I'm playing the same maps over and over again, pretty much using the same guns over and over again. I'm still having so much fun. I love playing Battlefield 6. This is all based on the multiplayer. Campaign's not great. Could really care less about Red Sect, the Battle Royale, the Gauntlet mode. Those are cool additions if you want something different in your Battlefield experience, but a core Battlefield experience being the multiplayer, that is really what I am having number 7 being Battlefield 6 based on. I'm really strictly talking about the multiplayer and how much fun I have with it. I have over 70 hours in the game. I'm loving it. I still do go back and play this game when a new update comes out, and even though those updates are for the most part pretty underwhelming, I'm still having fun with the gameplay, having fun leveling up weapons, which still takes far too long. But all the complaints aside, I just have so much fun playing the game, and that I think is what the most important part is. They have a lot of work to do when it comes to fixing their post-launch support. I mean, 2 maps in the span of 3 months, not going to cut it, especially back in the day when we were able to get 4 to 6 maps in the same span of time. They have a lot of work to do with that. I don't know what's going on there when it comes to post-launch support. They had a great launch. They have a great base to work with. They are really screwing it up, but they have time to fix it, and I hope they do. But Battlefield 6 is sitting at number 7 strictly because the game is still so much fun to play. I always have a blast. It is one of my favorite Battlefields, just from a gameplay perspective. You know, you have Battlefield 3 and 4 and even 1, which are regarded as the best in the franchise. Battlefield 6 can get there, it just needs a lot of work that they're really screwing up on. So this is a tough one for me. I have it at number 7. I could definitely see why you wouldn't want this in your top 10. If you're a Battlefield 6 player and you're like, man, they're really screwing up the live service, post-launch support is terrible, a bunch of other problems as well, but for me, I still, when I go back to Battlefield 6, have so much fun playing it, even with all these issues. So that is why Battlefield 6 is at number 7. Just outside of the top 5 at number 6 is Dispatch. The days of old school Telltale games are back, and honestly they might be better than ever with Dispatch. I loved games like The Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, Tales from the Borderlands. Those games back in the early 2010s, fantastic. Those stretched on even with the Batman games, even Minecraft story mode. They had a lot of good Telltale games, and then they went away. We're still waiting on The Wolf Among Us 2. Who knows if we'll ever get that game. But then old Telltale developers come in and they're making Dispatch. This game comes out, and not only is it a fantastic old school Telltale game, it also has a lot of fun dispatching gameplay alongside it. It's got a great story, fantastic characters who from an art design perspective look so good. The voice acting is fantastic. Getting people like Moist Critical, Jacksepticeye, Alana Pierce to voice characters, and having Aaron Paul play Robert Robertson, the main character, does a fantastic job. All the voice actors do such a good job and make these characters who they are. They're lovable characters, and the decisions you have to make are great. The story is just fantastic. I loved being in the world of Dispatch. And the dispatching gameplay alongside of it, a lot of fun. A lot of choice and consequence there as well. Trying to figure out who is the best person to send for which situation. Leveling up your characters that are on your squad to have one character be like an all-around, one character be like a strength build, one be more intelligent, so you know who to send and where. Trying to figure out if you need to send multiple people to best cover a situation. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it, and for me it never got boring, and I thought that it was going to be a gimmick and it would only be in like a third of the game, but there was a lot of dispatching you had to do. I mean, pretty much half of the episodes were dispatching and the other half were cutscenes and story and dialogue. I loved Dispatch. Pretty much everyone did. I feel like it has gotten so much love. People want a season 2. Who knows if we'll get one, but I just want to see what this team does next, whether it be a Dispatch season 2 or it be something new. Keep this team together. The writing is fantastic. It is a hilarious game, and man, I could just go on and on about Dispatch. I loved my time with it. It's also short. The episodes, there's 8 episodes, and they go from maybe about 40 minutes to an hour. So you're able to knock this game out in 8 hours or less if you are trying to play it in one playthrough, kind of like I almost did. They had this episodically released, 2 episodes a week for 4 weeks, but I waited until the game was out and fully released to be able to go through and play it. Man, I had such a great time. If you are looking for that old school Telltale captured in a modern setting and a just done in a modern way, Dispatch is what you're looking for. Fantastic characters, a great story, the writing is off the charts, art direction is great, the soundtrack also is good as well, and the dispatching gameplay is a lot of fun. Dispatch, just so much fun. I had a lot of fun and a great time going through it, and that's why Dispatch comes in at number 6. Cracking into the top 5 is a game that is my sleeper hit of the year, The Midnight Walk. I loved The Midnight Walk. I feel like no one talks about this game at all. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only person that loves The Midnight Walk. I feel like it got an award at the Game Awards for VR, Best VR Game, but the game itself is just so good. I mean, where to start with it? Visually, it takes a kind of Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas look and approach to it, and it knocks it out of the park. The game looks so good. Art direction is fantastic. I mean, there were so many moments where I just stopped to smell the roses. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, it looked so good. The soundtrack is fantastic. It's got a lot of just vibe and atmosphere to it, going from like jazzy and classical. There's so many things happening in the soundtrack. The story is great. The main story itself had a lot of fun with, but then as you go through the chapters, there's a lot of side stories being told within the main story as you go and try to reach the end of your journey. The main characters are great. Potboy is a fantastic companion. Super cute, super fun to be around and to see what he does. Solid gameplay and puzzles. The character design looks fantastic. I mean, dialogue as well. Every part of this game hits on so many levels. It is a fantastic time. I mean, there's nothing else like it to me. I have not played anything like The Midnight Walk. Super unique. There's a lot of stuff going for it. Pretty short game as well, so it'll be done about 4 to 6 hours, I'd say. There's collectibles to find. They even kind of take a BioShock approach with the kind of shells that you find, and they almost sound very BioShocky as well. Lots of funny moments. This game has it all. I really enjoyed my time with the Midnight Walk. It can also get scary. It can almost turn into a horror game at some points with the enemies and characters that you try to avoid. The Midnight Walk I cannot recommend enough. If you are looking for a short experience that it's hard to get anywhere else, great story, fantastic soundtrack, the visuals are off the chart, the game has great performance as well, art design, this game checks all of the boxes. I think it is absolutely worth it. It is one of the most underappreciated games, I feel like, from 2025. I don't see anyone talking about it. I had so much fun with the Midnight Walk, and that is why it is number 5. Number 4, Ghost of Yotei, my most recent review as of recording this video. The last game that I finished from 2025 to be able to make this video, and man, they did it again. They did it again. If you've paid attention to the channel, you know my journey with the Ghost franchise. Didn't play Ghost of Tsushima until about, I'd say I started it in maybe June or July of last year. Finally wrapped it up in August or September. Loved Ghost of Tsushima. I can't say enough about how good that game is. I loved the world. The visuals were fantastic. The story was so good. Great characters. I loved every minute I spent with Ghost of Tsushima getting the platinum. Yotei comes out, and I was worried that it was going to be a lot of the same. And it was, but it was a very good same. They basically took what was good about Tsushima and improved on it. The open world feels a lot better to explore. The side activities feel a lot more fleshed out. Not as annoying to go and complete for the platinum. And as I was going through and finishing Ghost of Yotei, I thought this was going to be in the top 10 for sure. But I thought it might slide in at 7 or 8. And as I kept going, and the story kept going, I was like, wow, this is climbing up, this is climbing up. And at the end of it, when I rolled credits, I was, wow, they did it again. Sucker Punch did it again with another Ghost game. Ghost of Yotei, in some ways, is better than Tsushima. In other ways, it's not. I think the story in Tsushima is better. Just from a personal perspective, I liked where that game went, the themes that game tackled. But Yotei does a lot with the story that's very good as well. Atsu's a great main character. Again, great side characters. Villains, more villains, and villains that you hate. Fleshed out villains that I really enjoyed. Lord Saito being the main villain, he was a great main villain. And at the end of the story, I was just like, wow, I can't believe they did it again. They really did it. The combat is more fleshed out, going away from the stance system and going to a more weapon-focused system, being able to use a lot of different weapons. The world is beautiful. They somehow were able to take Tsushima with the visuals and up it. They outdid themselves in Yotei. This game is gorgeous. And at the end of it all, going for the platinum, finally climbing to the top of Mount Yotei and just taking it all in. I loved my time. Over 50 hours with Ghost of Yotei, and I cannot recommend it enough. If you liked Ghost of Tsushima, you should definitely check out Yotei. Even if you haven't played Tsushima, this is a great standalone game. The stories do not collide with each other. It's a standalone story. It takes place hundreds of years after Tsushima, so you can play this game as a standalone game and still get a lot of enjoyment out of it. I had a lot of fun with it. Go check out the review I just posted If you're looking for a longer, more extended hearing of my thoughts, I have that video on the channel. But overall, Ghost of Yotei is a fantastic sequel to Tsushima, and I had a lot of fun with it. Really enjoyed my time with it. They somehow were able to do it again. Sucker Punch has been killing it with the Ghost games, and that is why Ghost of Yotei comes in at number 4. At number 3, Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. The first game that I finished in 2025, or at least first brand new game I finished in 2025, was Citizen Sleeper 2. Checked out the first game on a whim, was looking for something to play, checked out Game Pass, saw that 2 was about to come out, 1 was on Game Pass, thought I'd give it a shot, didn't think anything of it, loved the first game. Now I'm super excited for the second game. It comes out and it's even better than the first game. I mean, where to start with Citizen Sleeper 2? Writing is fantastic. It is a very dialogue heavy game. There's no voice acting, so there's a lot of reading to do. But there's so much good reading and dialogue and writing to experience. The characters are fantastic. The way that they are written, it just sucks you into the world. It immerses you. You take control of the character that you play as and you make them your own. You play as a sleeper and you have sold your body to a corporation for their use. And now you are a sleeper. You are no longer a human. You've sold your body off to a corporation for them to use, and you take control of the sleeper and you go on a journey. The first game takes a more kind of solo approach to it. It's your story. You have side characters that you go along the journey with that you can have multiple endings with. But in the second game, it takes a more crew focused approach where you're able to make a crew, find characters throughout the world in the universe of Citizen Sleeper to have in your crew. Very cool idea, and they execute it so well. Being able to go and listen to their problems and things that they want you to try and help them fix. Going and doing character side quests, almost like a Mass Effect 2 type of situation, where you had the side quests that were character focused in that game. And just being able to explore more. You're not stuck on a space station like you were in the first game. You're able to go to different space stations and different locations, meet different factions and groups of people. Just so good. The entire game is fantastic. Soundtrack is great. Character designs are great. And just the dice rolling mechanics are super addictive. Being able to not know what's coming next. If you have a neutral dice, are you going to get a good outcome or a bad outcome? How is that going to affect the current situation that you're in? Contracts being introduced and being a really tense part of the game where, I mean, a lot can go wrong with these contracts, and they can have big ramifications on not just that moment in time, but the entire story as well. And the ending of the game just being a punch to the gut, and just, man, they killed it with Citizen Sleeper 2. I had so much fun, enjoyed being in this world, was immersed the entire time, and absolutely recommend playing the first game. Even if you don't play the first game, play the second game. Play both. I mean, you're really missing out if you haven't played these games. They are super underrated. And I could go on and on about Citizen Sleeper 2. I did that in my review. Go check it out. I did a review of both games in one video. Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. Fantastic video game. Cannot recommend it enough. And that is why it comes in at number 3. I bet you thought I would put this game at number 1 like everyone else, but no. This game is sitting at number 2, and that game is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Now, to be clear, it is not at number 2 just to be different. I'm not trying to be different on purpose. This is not at the beginning of the video, or I guess closer to the bottom of the list, number 10, number 11, with Doom and Mafia. I said I was taking a fun over story approach to this list. Not to say that Expedition 33 is not fun. It has great turn-based gameplay. Not even a turn-based guy. I am not into turn-based at all. But when we saw this game before launch with trailers and gameplay, me, like everyone else, was caught and captured right away by how cool this kind of almost real-time turn-based gameplay looked. It looked stylish, it looked so good, and it looked like a lot of fun to mess around with. The timing nature of it as well, timing your attacks to do more damage. So much fun. Had a lot of fun with the gameplay. The different characters that you meet and get in your party all play super differently, and you're able to make super insane crazy builds with them to flesh out your playstyle, and it also opens up more playthroughs to try and do that differently. The gameplay, a lot of fun. The open world and exploring the open world, a lot of fun as well. The visuals, off the charts, fantastic. Art direction, fantastic. Going and seeing all the different parts of this world. So many unique looking visuals and locations that you get to see and explore in Expedition 33. And what is there to be said that hasn't already been said about the soundtrack? Fantastic soundtrack. Definitely my favorite soundtrack of the year. So many good songs. I mean, you could go down the list. Don't have time to do that here. I've already done that enough. But Expedition 33, fantastic soundtrack. And the story. The story is so good. The characters are lovable. The writing is fantastic. And just the different ways that the game surprises you, keeps you immersed and entertained, the twists and turns that happen throughout the story. I mean, this game looked great before launch, but I don't think anyone could have expected how good this game would really be when it came out, and still how beloved it is, how many awards it won at the Game Awards. It won Game of the Year at the Game Awards, and there's a reason this game is pretty much everyone's Game of the Year. It deserves it. It is a fantastic game. The people behind it did such a good job. They clearly had a passion for this game, and they were able to execute on every part of the game 100%. They killed it. Sandfall Interactive absolutely killed it with Expedition 33, and it is just a fantastic video game. If you haven't already tried it, go do it, because you're not going to regret it. It is one of probably the best games of all time. I mean, definitely modern games of all time. Came out of nowhere, took the world by storm, and there's a reason for that, because they back it up in every which way, every part of the game with Expedition 33. And that is why it is the runner-up, number 2 on my list. And my game of the year for 2025 is Hades 2. Fun over story is the approach that I took to this list. That is why Hades 2 is over Expedition 33. Expedition 33 has a better story than Hades 2. But I'm going to be playing Hades 2 for the rest of my life. This is a game that I will always come back to, always do a couple runs here and there. Do one run really quick. Do 3 runs if I have time to do a long session. There's still so much to experience in Hades 2 that I haven't already, even after putting 50 hours into the game to roll credits. Weapons and aspects that I haven't found yet. I'm sure dialogue that's just going to keep going and going and going. Unlocks that I haven't discovered. So many lists of milestones and challenges, I forgot what they're called off the top of my head, that are on the list that I still have yet to do. There's still so much to do in Hades 2. This is a game that people sink hundreds of hours into before they finally 100% complete it. I feel this way about the first Hades. I feel the same way about the second Hades. They're going to be downloaded at all times, forever. If I'm ever bored, I want to go do a quick run. The gameplay is so fun and so addictive. It never gets old. Every run feels different. I could go on and on about Hades 2. It is a fantastic video game. It is so much fun. It is a game that I'm just going to continue playing until I 100% finish it. And even after that, just because of how addicting and fun the gameplay is, I'm just going to keep it installed just to be able to go back and do one more run. Just do one more run. Supergiant absolutely killed it with these 2 games. Fantastic art direction. The characters look so good. Soundtrack, Darren Korb absolutely kills it. So many good songs. He does it again. I don't know how he keeps doing it. So many good parts about Hades 2. Every part of this game takes what made Hades 1 so good and just cranks it up to 11. The permanent progression feels a lot better as well. The Crossroads being the hub, such a cool hub, being able to unlock different things throughout your journey through the main story to flesh out the hub. And there's still so many things for me to discover. That is what baffles me the most, is there's still so much to see and do, even after rolling credits, even after playing a few more hours after rolling credits, there's still so much to do. Hades 2 is a lifetime game. It's going to be a game that I continue to play, and that's why it's at the top of the list. It is a fun video game. It is a ridiculously fun video game, and that's why it's number 1. Hades 2 is my game of the year for 2025. A ridiculously fun video game that I love so much. Hades 2, my game of the year. And that is going to do it for the video. The final video wrapping up the entirety of 2025. I know we're into March. We're 2 months into the year. Finally getting this done, but it's better late than never. I wanted to put this video out to wrap up 2025. Played a lot of games, made a lot of reviews, and to wrap it up into one video, into one list, was a lot of fun to do. And now we move forward to 2026, where there's already a lot of great games that have come out, and there's still so much to look forward to throughout the rest of the year. And I cannot wait to see where this channel goes in 2026 with old reviews, new reviews, and everything in between. 2026 is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a fun year on the channel. Cannot wait to see what's in store for this channel in 2026. That is going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments, what was your game of the year for 2025? What was your top 5, your top 10? Do you agree with the games I have on the list? Do you love them as well? Are there games that you hate on the list? Let's talk about 2025 games. Even though we're in March, let's still have a discussion about it. It's never too late to have a discussion about games, even if we're a couple months late. That's going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I'll talk to you later.